relocation. We'll tell you why coming up.
Plus, Johnson City leaders have decided how they will fill the empty commission seat. More on that next.
Nice and clear, mild this
home of Tennessee's best newscast. This is News Channel 11 this morning.
Well, thank you for waking up with us here on News Channel 11 and ABC Tri-Cities at 6 on a Friday. I'm Amy Lynn.
And I'm Sydney Cameron. You're taking a live look, if we can, at downtown Bristol this morning. Everything's quiet now, but look, people walking out down there, maybe getting ready
I know.
for Bristol Rhythm and Roots.
Maybe starting to set up some of those stages. Man, it's going to be packed down there this weekend.
And it's going to be a great way to spend the final day of summer. You're taking a live look at North Johnson City this morning. A few cars out and about this morning. We're going to head over to meteorologist Jeremy Eisenzoff now because he is talking about some pretty hot weather, but good weather if you're looking to get outside this weekend.
Sounds like it's going to be really nice, Jeremy.
Yeah, hot finish to today. Of course, today's our last full day of summer, the official fall season.
Yeah.
Little equinox party.
I don't know about
dance,
wherever you
celebration.
happen to be, you know, in the football stands, if your team is winning, if your team is losing, just get up.
I've seen some rooftop yoga events for tomorrow to celebrate the fall equinox.
There you go. Yes.
Maybe we can do that.
Sydney will sign right up. All right.
Thanks, Jeremy.
It is 6:02 now as we take a look at some of your news headlines. An emotional evening for Johnson City commissioners.
It was the first meeting called since the death of a former mayor and city commission member. They spent the first part of the meeting last night remembering and reflecting on the life of Dr. Ralph Van Brocklin. City leaders then discussed finding a replacement for his empty seat.
We're going to miss him.
Commissioners have now opened up an application for anyone to apply. The person chosen will be appointed by the commission and will serve until November of 2020.
Most commissioners say they wanted to open the process to anyone willing and qualified to serve. If you are interested in applying for the position, we have posted a link to the application on our website, WJHL.com.
Parents and students.
Bristol, Virginia city leaders say part of the reason they wanted to remove fellow councilman Doug Fleener is because he neglected his duties. The city council says for years Fleener failed to attend monthly meetings for committees he was appointed to serve on. In a previous interview, Fleener claimed serving on committees as a council member was a conflict of interest. City manager Randall Eads disagrees, saying it is an essential part of holding office.
You have a local representative.
Council has decided not to remove Fleener until a judge decides the outcome of Fleener's lawsuit against the city. Well, we all know it's Friday, and that means that the stadium lights will be on long after dark.
Yes, and Casey Marlar is live in Abingdon this morning to see how the Falcons get ready for game day. Good morning, Casey.
Good morning. Yeah, our first trip to Abingdon in about 5 years.
And the crowd goes wild. Woo, they're great.
I love it. They look good. They sound great. I'm so glad we're showing Abingdon some love. And I love that little fist pound that they did.
Cool?
Yeah.
Back to you. It was great. Glad to see they got up with us early. I know it's very early, but at least it's a Friday and they have a huge weekend ahead.
Definitely. Well, the Abingdon High School Falcons take on the Hidden Valley Titans at 7 p.m. in Abingdon tonight, so make sure to check that out. Some other big games to look out for. Daniel Boone plays on the Science Hills home field in Johnson City tonight. The Trailblazers go up against the Hilltoppers at 7:30.
And the Tennessee High Vikings.
Still ahead this morning, 5 people were rushed to the hospital overnight in upstate New York after they were shot in the middle of a street. We're going to tell you what happened when we come back.
Right Now News, brought to you by Toyota.
Looking at your headlines this morning, 5 people were shot in upstate New York overnight. They are now recovering in the hospital this morning. This happened in Syracuse. Police say shots came from across the street, hitting a lawn where the victims were gathered for a memorial. The victims range in age from 8 to 35 years old. Investigators in Harford County, Maryland are still searching for a motive in a workplace shooting yesterday that left 4 people dead, including the suspect. The Harford County Sheriff says 26-year-old Snochia Mosley opened fire at the Rite Aid Distribution Center where she was a temporary employee. She killed herself after shooting and killing 3 people and wounding several others. The new owner of the Carolina Panthers is donating more than $1 million to help the Carolinas recover from Hurricane Florence. The American Red Cross will get $1 million. Regional food banks will get $450,000 worth of emergency food packs, and high school athletic programs impacted by storm damage will also get some much needed money.
Now, Storm Team 11 meteorologist.
Those pictures, doesn't it just make us appreciate where we are?
The nights are so beautiful. They don't last as long. You got to get out there and really soak them in fast because it's turning dark a whole lot quicker.
But then on the flip side, you know, early morning's really nice. You can get up, get that exercise in without burning up.
Oh yeah, get up and get that exercise in.
Says no one ever, apparently, according to Amy.
No, I love it. I love it. And to all those that are exercising this morning, very good way to start the day. It really is.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Well, Vice President Mike Pence will make his way to East Tennessee today.
He is scheduled to headline a fundraiser for Republican U.S. Representative Marsha Blackburn. She's running for state senate. The cost for people to attend is $1,000 per person and $5,400 for each couple. For a photo and round table with Pence, that's going to set you back $25,000. The donations benefit Blackburn's fundraising committee.
Blackburn is facing Democratic. Well, it is Friday, and that means it's time for some Friday morning kickoff.
Casey Marler will be live to give us a look at the Abingdon High Falcons. Here's a preview.
Welcome back. High schools across the country gearing up for some Friday night football.
And we are getting you ready with our Friday morning kickoff. Casey Mahler is live at Abingdon High School this morning to give us a look at the Falcons as they get ready to get into that spirit.
We are having a great time with the...
Certainly a lot of pep in their step at this early morning hour on a Friday.
Yeah, they are getting us ready for the game tonight. I love that spirit that they have super early at 6:22 in the morning.
Isn't that great? And they all look great, and they're going to have a big day ahead of them. Lots of fun.
Stay right there. We will be right back.
It's a full day of summer. It's going to be a hot finish to this.
Well, it is time for a News Channel 11 tradition. It is Friday morning kickoff.
So turn off those alarms because we have some awesome sounds from the Abingdon High School Band.
Tennessee's best newscast. This is News Channel 11 this morning.
Well, we are taking a live look this morning over downtown Bristol as crews start up and set up. This year's Rhythm and Roots reunion going to be an incredible weekend.
State Street all lit up. Looks like it's going to be a clear morning out there. See a couple of runners out there, Amy. Did you see those?
Yes.
So some folks are up and running this morning, and it's actually a really great morning because it feels really great outside, Jeremy.
Well, sure it does. When it's 67.
All right, a lot to go over as we start to say goodbye.
David Crockett High School administrators say they did not alert parents to a threat found earlier this week because it was not credible. Washington County Schools Assistant Director James Murphy says a janitor found a message in the boys' bathroom Wednesday saying that there would be a school shooting. Murphy says the sheriff's office was immediately notified and eventually determined there was no risk.
In the course of a day.
Murphy says the students who did not come to school Thursday will not be penalized. Extra deputies will be on campus again today. Investigators still don't know what caused a small plane to crash at Tri-Cities Airport Wednesday night. The National Transportation Safety Board is looking into the accident. The experimental aircraft went down about 500 feet short of a runway. Officials say the plane was carrying 2 people who were taken to Holston Valley Medical Center for non-life-threatening injuries. One of those people was a doctor from Alabama, Richard Knapp. The plane is registered in his name. The other passenger has not been identified. The airport says that landing system lights on the runway were damaged. The Federal Aviation Administration is assessing that damage now.
Johnson City leaders.
A Tri-Cities man is in jail this morning on attempted second-degree murder charges. It happened early Tuesday. Officers were called to Tamassee Drive in Johnson City. Investigators say Jonathan Cross was involved in a domestic dispute with his girlfriend, who called her father to come get her. Police say when the father got there, Cross hit his girlfriend in the face with a gun, then fired a shot at her father. The girl and her father are now out of the hospital. Cross is being held on a $100,000 bond. New this morning, a Johnson County man faces multiple charges after investigators discovered a marijuana growing operation at his home. It happened on Dark Hollow Private Drive. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office says officers found 29 marijuana plants, over 300 pills, grow lights, marijuana seeds, and other drug-related items. You see them all right there on your screen. They also discovered cash, guns, and possible moonshine. Authorities arrested 59-year-old 20-year-old Stuart Bunting. He faces multiple charges, including possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. And the sheriff's office says the investigation is ongoing and more charges are pending. Well, time now 6:36, and Friday can only mean one thing in Tennessee. It's time for some high school football.
And we are getting you ready for the games with a little Friday morning kickoff. Casey. Certainly look good. They sound good. I think they're ready for the big game tonight.
I think so. Did you see the mascot getting down with the cheerleaders?
I like that. And I like all the movement from the band. They're got personality.
Yeah, I love it. Can't wait to see them again. Well, the Abingdon High School Falcons take on the Hidden Valley Titans at 7 p.m. in Abingdon, so make sure to check out that game. And there are some other big games to look out for tonight. Daniel Boone plays on Science Hill's home field in Johnson City. The Trailblazers go up against the Hilltoppers at 7:30.
The Tennessee High
Sydney.
Right Now News, brought to you by Toyota.
We start this Right Now News with a medical alert this morning. One person in Northeast Tennessee has died from the West Nile virus. The Tennessee Department of Health says this is the 4th related death in Tennessee this year. The virus most commonly spreads through mosquito bites. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says there are no vaccines for it or medications to prevent the virus. You can protect yourself by getting rid of any standing water, wearing long sleeves, and of course using insect repellent. The Eric Jones murder trial will resume in just a couple hours. Jones is charged with murdering 2 baby girls in Greene County. The state rested its case yesterday after testimony from Knox County's chief medical examiner. She said she believes the sisters died almost instantly when their spines were severed, an action that she says is rare and requires exceptional force. The trial resumes this morning at 8:30. Well, in just a few hours, Vice President Mike Pence will arrive in Knoxville, Tennessee. He will be one of the top guests at a conference for conservative leaders in the state. Pence will join Republican U.S. Representative Marsha Blackburn and NRA lobbyist Chris Cox. Blackburn is currently running for an open seat in the U.S. Senate against Democratic ex-Tennessee Governor Phil Bredesen. The 2018 Rhythm and Roots Reunion kicks off today in downtown Bristol. It is a 3-day music festival with tons of events and over 140 performing bands. Artists will perform in 10 different locations up and down State Street. You can find the full schedule of events on the festival's website, bristolrhythm.com. Amy?
All right, thank you, Sydney.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, and you're making fun of me because I returned the ponchos that I didn't use.
Jared, you should always have a poncho, even if you
Why?
didn't need it that day.
I have a rain jacket and an umbrella. Ponchos are just not cute.
Well, I think they
it's
can
not
be.
cute to get wet either.
You're right, which is why if it rains, we won't be going to the game.
You'll wish you had a poncho when you're sitting in the stands without one.
I'll go
someday.
buy them again and then I'll return them. No, I'm joking. I'll keep them this time.
No poncho needed if you are out at the high school field this morning where Casey is.
Yeah, we're going to send you off with Friday morning kickoff.
Let's leave you with more of this.